So as you get older, the normal aging process causes changes in your heart and vessels, and that leads to increased cardiac mortality. One of the hallmarks of aging is aortic stiffening, which is associated with strokes, dementia, heart disease, and kidney disease. This process, though, isn't necessarily inevitable. A lot of studies have shown lifelong exercise reduces aortic stiffening and allows us to gain from these benefits. What we don't know is whether recreational exercise allows us to see these benefits as well, and what the dose of exercise is needed to start to see these effects. So with this in mind, we undertook our study to try and address these questions. We used marathon runners who are training for their first time marathon because that's a really common activity. It's very popular with over 18 million people, mass participation runners in the USA. So we recruited people who were signed up for the London Marathon in 2016 and in 2017. So they hadn't done any training beforehand, less than 2 hours of running a week, and they had to be free of any established cardiovascular disease. At follow-up, or at their start, before they underwent training, they had a number of assessments, and that included cardiovascular magnetic resonance imaging. It allowed us to image the aorta, to look at aortic stiffening directly. And because we know stiffening is related to the age of a person, we can look at the biological age of the vessels. So we calculated that before they started training, and then after they completed their marathon, leaving a gap of 2 weeks. We also looked at their blood pressure, both brachially, and derived an estimate of their central aortic blood pressure. We did a running test to look at their fitness as well as body weight and body fat. And then we followed them up 6 months later. And what we found at follow-up, well, there were 138 marathon completers, about half were male. We found that their fitness levels were really representative of a baseline general population, not elite athletes. And they ran the marathon about half an hour slower than the average marathon running times for everyone. There were small changes in body weight and body fat, but what we found is that their blood pressure reduced by 4 millimeters mercury systolic, and their aortic stiffness also reduced. When you describe that in the biological age of the vessels, that was approximately a 4-year reduction in their biological age. And we also found small changes in their body weight and body fat along with this. So in summary, it sounds like quite a short training program, which applies to real-world exercise, not a structured exercise program, is sufficient to get the benefits on your cardiovascular system. They rejuvenate their large vessels, the aorta, which is the major vessel in the body. Their blood pressure reductions are comparable to the effects of blood pressure lowering medication as well. So it seems like starting training from a sedentary baseline is sufficient to gain the cardiovascular effects and benefits of training for a first-time marathon. You don't need to be an elite athlete to gain these effects. Just doing the training and getting to the finish line is enough to see the rewards on your vascular health.